This is Dr. Lou Cella, sport and performance psychologist. Now, you have been conditioned, brainwashed, hypnotized to believe that you have to watch hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of film of yourself and your opponent. You've been hypnotized to believe that you must do that. Well, in certain offensive approaches, you don't have a choice because everything's so abstract. But with the modern day triple option offense, everything's concrete. And I'm going to give you right now the two things you need to do to end the constant watching of film of you and your opponent. This is how it's done. You ready? Because the haters are going to hate on this one, but don't really care. Number one, you have to have a built-in game plan. Look, a built-in game plan is what Paul Johnson always did. It's what Air Force does, and it's how you run the offense. It is a systematic, procedural approach to play calling. When you have a systematic, procedural approach to play calling, it does not matter if you play Phoenix High School in upstate New York, the Arizona Cardinals. It does not matter if you play the Great Phoenix Junior Knights. It doesn't matter if you play Arizona State. You're going to execute your plan. The plan is you run zone dive, you get 4 yards, you run zone dive again. If you don't get 4 yards on zone dive, you just look at what the player over the tackle is doing. That's number one. If number one takes the dive, you come back and run mid-triple the next play. If number one doesn't, you run trap and you go from there. If they blitz, you toss the ball outside. Any other situation, third and long, fourth and long, you got to score right now, or somebody in the secondary flies up, you throw the ball with switch, vert, or boot. That's it. That's your built-in game plan. That's what you're going to do, and you're going to surrender the outcome to God. Paul Johnson had a systematic procedural game plan. So does Air Force. Go all in on it, because if millionaires do it, go for it. That's the best possible answer, and getting you closer to winning than anything else is a systematic procedural plan, a built-in game plan where all your opponents are nameless, faceless opponents. Now, the focus for years was, well, you got to focus on yourself. Look at the mistakes you're making. Of course you do. When you have negative plays on offense, you got to fix them. But here's the thing. So you can stop obsessing about what you did the game before, you got to reset every week. So if you play a Friday night game, you got to reset on Tuesday. Tuesday, you got to treat it like you're reinstalling each concept. You're reinstalling the zone dive, the mid-triple, the trap, the toss. You're reinstalling it. So you go through basically nameless, faceless alignments, and you make sure that your players execute the assignments. So you treat it like you treat it as if you're running a triple option football academy camp on Tuesday. And that could even carry into Wednesday. You're not prepping for your opponent. You're not focusing on, well, on film, Phoenix High School ran a 50 defense. Who cares? Listen, when Navy was at their peak, they got different base defenses from their opponents over 70% of the time. This is unique offense. People aren't going to play the same as they defend a spread team. You're lining up most of the time with receivers 3.5 feet away from the tackles. You're going heavy. And then you run spread formation, and run mid-triple, trap, and switch. So you're not going to get the same looks. I mean, people can do whatever they want, but you're not getting the same looks. But the two biggest things you've got to do to eliminate hours and hours and hours and endless film watching is you got to have a built-in play calling procedure, just like Paul Johnson has, just like Air Force has, just like Navy did in their prime, and very likely what Army's going to do in 2024. We'll find out about that in a little bit. And the second thing is you got to have a weekly reset. Tuesday's got to be a reset, where basically you bring it back like it's triple option football academy camp, and you basically go through the procedure, and then to know what the exact procedure is, you got to become a client. Give me a call, and you can become a client today, and you'll learn how to do a weekly reset. That's more important. Prepping for your opponent's a waste of time, because this is unique offense. So, and you can say, well, we have film on them from the year before. We saw them play another option team. Yeah, but you're doing it the right way here. Like, you're doing it the Air Force way. Not what some podunk college is doing or some high school program, how they're running option, but they're never running option. They just pretend that they do. And they're the type of program they can roll out the balls and win 10 games a year anyway. So, like, you're doing it the right way. So people are going to play it different. So the two things, once again, built-in play calling procedure, just like Paul Johnson at Air Force did and currently do. And you have the great reset every Tuesday. And you just run it like you run the camp. Now, if you want to know how to run practice like you run the camp and have the great reset and stop watching endless amounts of film of your opponent and yourself, and so you can save time on the weekend, so you can have a life and breathe, and you can reset, pick up the phone and give me a call right now. The Triple Option Football Academy is $9.97. You get it for 2 years. You're going to learn from the ground up how to execute Air Force's modern-day triple option offense the right way the first time. But more importantly, you're going to learn how to win. Win big. My clients win big. Go to tripleoptionfootball.com/testimonials. You can see all the success stories that have come from the camps in the academy. Camp started $19.97. I can get you in for $19.97. So you get the academy and the camp for $19.97. Call to learn how. You're going to stop watching endless amounts of film all the time. You're going to stop. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to radically oversimplify your life and to get you winning big. Whether it's 8-man, 9-man, or 11-man football. I'll see you in the next video. We'll talk soon.